everybody, I'm Miss Booth and I'm the academic coordinator at QOTA, but I'm also the Shakespeare tutor, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about Shakespeare. One special thing about Shakespeare that's happening this upcoming summer is a Shakespeare and film camp, led by myself and Mr. Judah Parkin. And during this camp, we are going to be taking scenes from various Shakespeare plays and making them into a movie, which will be super fun. It will also be a wonderful introduction to Shakespeare. We'll be analyzing different scenes from different plays such as Hamlet, Much Ado About Nothing, A Midsummer Night's Dream, meeting the characters and the worlds that they live in, and becoming a part of them. I will also be running a Shakespeare club this upcoming academic school year for after school, where we'll delve more deeply into one particular play, where we'll meet the characters and the world that those characters live in a very in-depth setting, and at the end of the year, we'll put on a very exciting play. So a lot of people seem pretty intimidated by Shakespeare. He was this random guy who lived hundreds of years ago and wrote plays and sonnets. Why do I need to study or learn anything about him? Well, the great thing about Shakespeare is that his plays are so dynamic. They have wonderful characters that really encapsulate what it means to be a human person. You get an insight into what it was like to live in the Renaissance, and other time periods sometimes too. For example, with Julius Caesar, you find yourself in ancient Rome. In Midsummer Night's Dream, you find yourself in ancient Greece. The most special thing about these plays was that they were performed in Shakespeare's time, and they're still meant to be performed today. It's wonderful to read and analyze these plays in an English classroom. It really is. But it's even more wonderful to bring it to life. That's what these plays are meant to be. They're meant to be alive. So that's our job at QOTA. We're taking these plays and literally making them physically alive by bringing ourselves to play these characters and experience the lives that these characters lived. There are so many fun elements when it comes to putting on a play. Costumes, fencing, sets. I mean, it's so much fun to get involved in all of the elements. This summer in our camp, you'll even be able to get involved in the movie making process of making a Shakespearean movie. How cool is that? It's so much fun to get involved in every single aspect of putting on a play, whether it's analyzing your character and getting to know what it's like to live in the Renaissance, or putting on your costume and feeling what it was like to live in the Renaissance. Fencing, music, every single element incorporated into one production is so much fun, and it's so exciting to just be surrounded by all of it. Another really cool element is even sets. Sets alone are so cool because it's like walking down the street in I don't know, Verona, Italy, if you're doing Romeo and Juliet. I mean, it's incredible just how transported you are when you play a role in a play. This is something that you can experience no matter what age you are, whether you're 4 years old to a grown adult. Personally, as an actor, Shakespeare has always been the pinnacle of theater for me. Being on stage in a Shakespeare play is such an immersive, beautiful experience that really can't be compared to anything else in the world. It's so cool to even just recite Shakespearean lines on a stage. And it's even cooler to know what they mean. And to be able to apply yourself and add emotion and your own life experiences to the role. It's really wonderful, more than anything, to relate to Shakespeare. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize about Shakespeare, is that it is so relatable. Shakespeare is so relatable. That's why we still read his works today, and that's why we still perform them, because they were meant to be seen on a stage. They were meant to be performed. They were meant to show what it means to be human. And that's something that you and me can connect with. It's so cool that these characters from hundreds and hundreds of years ago are somebody who you can see on the street today. Okay, maybe they won't be wearing a really long, heavy Shakespearean dress, but you can't tell me that you've never seen a Juliet in your life. A young girl who fell in love with some guy that her parents didn't like. I mean, come on. Shakespeare is relatable even today, and especially today. Here's another example of Shakespeare being relatable. Have you ever fought with your sister? I think the answer is yes. Open up the script of Taming of the Shrew. It's throughout. Or even King Lear. I mean, it's basically three sisters trying to prove that they're daddy's favorite. And trust me, they're not. Perhaps the most relatable element is in A Midsummer Night's Dream. A bunch of people putting on a play together. You in a couple months? Another really cool thing about being in Shakespeare plays is that you get to bond with your castmates. You get to know more even about your friends, things that you never would have known about them. You as a team with your friends are working together, collaborating to achieve a goal, a very, very special goal at the end of the year where you'll put on a full-blown production of a Shakespearean play. A full-blown performance with costumes and swords, fencing and fighting and revelry and excitement and masquerade balls, everything. And it's so much fun to do that with your friends. Another really great thing about Shakespeare is that the plays can be really, really exciting, whether that means scary or hysterical. A few years ago, I was in Merry Wives of Windsor and I played Mistress Page. So here's a little scene from the show.
For shame! Do not waste time over you had rather when you had rather. Your husband's here at hand. I think you have some strategy. In the house you cannot hide him. Oh, how have you deceived me? Look! Here is a basket. If he be of any reasonable stature, he may creep in here and we may throw foul linen upon him, as if it were going to be washed or if it were bleaching time, and have him sent by your two men to Datchet Meadow.
What shall I do? He's too big to go in there.
So in that scene, those two women that you just saw, Mistress Page, played by me, and Mistress Ford, were playing this hysterical trick on this man behind the curtain. So everything they were saying, they were overemphasizing so he would hear it, which is why the audience got a kick out of it, because it was super funny. And then there are plays like Hamlet or King Lear that are like whodunit mysteries. You have to figure out what's going on. You have to figure out, is this person a good guy or not? And then there are plays like Much Ado About Nothing where you cannot stop laughing. And other ones like A Midsummer Night's Dream where you think you're in a fairy world because they're so fanciful and exciting. So I'm looking forward to a very exciting and fun-filled year where we'll dive into the world of Shakespeare and explore his plays, be transported to the times, and really understand these beautiful characters, and through doing so, learn more about ourselves as well. So I'm very excited, and I hope that you'll join me. Feel free to email me at the email address you'll see right there. See you soon!